morning. I'm Mary, and I'm back with our last session of Physio Pilates for this particular group. So we're going to start this morning's class with a little bit of shoulder work, a little bit of release here. So if you stand, feet hip width apart. So again, hip width is locate your hip bones and your legs would fall down from there. So it is not the width of your hips, but the width of the hip bones. So it's just sort of a natural stand is what it is. Let's bring those shoulders up to the ears and then press the fingertips to the floor. Let's do that again. Down. One more time, up. And pressing fingertips down, and then bring your shoulders just back to neutral, releasing a little bit. Okay, let's take those shoulders and roll them toward each other in a bit of a concave fashion of the chest. So just rolling them forward and then bringing the shoulder blades together. Again, rolling forward. So it's the shoulder blades mainly doing the work and back. We want to make sure when we bring them back that the shoulders don't come up towards the ears. We're always looking for that nice distance between the shoulders and the ears. Let's do that. One more time. Forward and back. Release that. Your arms are going to kind of come out straight to the side, and you're going to do little rotations here as if you're drawing a little circle with your fingertips. Your arms are straight, and you're drawing a small circle. So the move, it's a rotation coming from the shoulder. This is going to be good work for our rotator cuff. All right. Let's see if we can start to make those circles a little bit larger. Remembering to do that back part of it where your arm actually opens up, if you can do it without pain. Let's keep on enlarging that circle. If any of these moves hurts anything in your neck or your shoulders, then drop it back to a level that doesn't hurt. Right? So let's remember to do that underneath part both ways. Let's take it quite a bit larger and larger yet. Okay, and now let's just roll the arms back into circles. Backward circles, keeping the core nice and strong in the middle. So I'm not moving through here as I'm doing these circles. The core of the body is on lockdown. All right, let's take those circles into the other direction. Getting some nice free movement through the shoulder, only within your level of comfort. Remember, anytime you feel pain, dial it back. Last time here, and let's bring that down. All right. Let's bring both hands forward. You can go into a little bit of a squat if that's comfortable for you. We're going to do the infinity sign or an 8 lying on its side toward the front. So let's go over for the bulge of one part of it, through the center and over to the other side. Let's get a nice flowing motion happening here. Your hips stay facing forward. So if you're finding you're kind of moving with it, you want to, again, lock down, word of the day, lock down the center part of the hips and get the movement happening through mostly the middle and upper back. You're pulling in your belly button a little bit towards your spine to help keep that core straight. And let's do one more time. And bring that back and bring it down. Just loosen up. Let that go. Shaking out through the shoulders. Okay. Let's do just one more exercise or loosening for the upper body. We're going to reach up a little bit across. So it's not just straight up. We're actually reaching across a bit. The hips are going to stay forward through all of these moves. Other arm. Up and across. Arm is straight through all of these. We're trying to keep a kink out of the elbow. so that we actually end up using more muscle in our side and through our backs. Out toward the outside of the knee. Again, the hips stay forward. And again, let's do that one more time. We'll just get a nice flow going. Enjoy the movement. Enjoy the range of motion through those shoulders. And let that go. Okay. Let's wake up the feet. So your feet are on the mat. Just wiggle the toes at first. Just loosen them up. I'm going to stand sideways so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to bring one foot just slightly behind the other. And then slowly roll up through that foot. Try to articulate through the whole foot and to come to a point where you may have a bend in the base of the big toe. The other toes will bend a little bit too. Your toes may be stiffer and you may not get to quite that point, but just see if you can challenge it a little bit and then roll that foot down. Let's do that 2 more times. A slow roll up, being conscious of all the different parts of the foot as you do this. Hold it a moment or 2 in this position. Look down and see if your foot is still facing front and back. If it's starting to lean out to the side, it's probably because you're expecting a little bit too much at the base of that big toe. And so you're going to want to just not go as high. Keep the foot aligned and down. One last time, rolling up and down. All right, let's go to the other side. And let's roll up through that foot. Do a little check, see what's happening. My foot was rolling out a little bit to the side and down. Roll it up again. Hold it and down. Last time, here we go. Rolling up, hold it, and put it down. We're going to stretch the top of the instep here. So you might like to just have a supporting hand on a wall, a chair, or a buddy. And we're going to take that foot that we just exercised and put it behind us with the toes underneath. So you're stretching across the top of the instep. If your foot starts to cramp, just release it. Just if it works for you, get a nice stretch here. And shake that out. Let's do the other foot. Toes are curled under that way. And getting a nice stretch. It might even feel different from one foot to the other because, of course, we carry our weight differently from one side to the other. And let that go. All right. Let's do balance work. Let's do the straightforward one to start. So you're going to shift your weight to one side. That knee goes soft. And the bum muscles are nice and strong, and your muscles along the side here are strong to keep you from kind of caving out to the side. So we're keeping a nice straight stance, and we're just going to unweight the foot. And bring it down. Right? Get ready to bring the leg up higher this time, up to closer to tabletop if you can. Remember to always balance yourself on that supporting leg first. You need the help of a chair, or you like the confidence that it inspires, feel free to do that, or a wall. Let's do that again. So always get ready, soft knee, nice strong glutes, and bring that up. And let's introduce a little bit of movement to further challenge ourselves. We're standing nice and tall here, and bring that down. Let's give that a little release. Dropping one knee from side to side as you get some movement through the pelvis to reset you and ready to go to the other side. Okay, the knee is soft and the glutes are nice and strong, getting ready to unweight this foot. Release. Okay, let's go again. This time we're going to bring the leg closer to tabletop. And hold it. and release that. Let's do that one last time. This time, like last, we're going to introduce a little bit of movement. Up it comes, and now move that leg a little bit, or it can go side to side. Just something that challenges that whole coordination of the balance. And let's bring that down. And dropping one knee and the other. This knee drop in between is a little bit of a reward for the work we did. Okay, I'm just going to move my toys here. We're going to do another balance exercise, and it's going to involve some air time with the leg. So, and actually we're going to ramp it up this class, and you're always welcome to keep the exercise at the first phase. And in fact, if you try the second one and you say, oh, not for me, then go back to the first one. So this is the one where you may recall we do a step forward. And then we come back, but we get some air time in the middle before going to the back position. Again, let's repeat this. Lots of air time in the middle where the leg is suspended in the air or held in the air. And let's go back. Let's do that 3 more times. And your standing leg is nice and strong, so we're not caving out to the side. We're going to go into our last one here. The slower you go, the more it'll challenge your balance. And bring that back. A little reset. And let's take it to the other side. Take a moment to support yourself on this side. Lift the leg into the air and stepping forward. Air time and back. Do that again, several times. Keep that going. Lots of air time. Or as much as your body will let you do without falling. I shouldn't have said that word. After this one, we're going to do 2 more completes. So let's go here, nice and strong on the supporting side as we take that little step forward. Air time and back. And last time. Okay. So I said we were going to introduce some more advanced version. And the more advanced version, we're going to actually, instead of just stepping forward, we're actually going to take it into a lunge. And then slowly take our time through the middle and take it into a back lunge. So see how that works for you. Your body's going to want to be aligned here over the knee, shoulders over the hips. Take your time coming out of it. Adjust your balance and come on forward to a little lunge. Hold that, and then take your time coming back and back. Or do the other version. I just lost my balance. Okay, let's do that one last time. Coming forward into the lunge. And then slowly coming out of it and back. All right. Press the reset button, dropping one knee from side to side, moving through the hips. Let's go to the other side. Take a moment to support yourself and take that step forward. That would take you into a lunge position. You're coming down here and balancing and coming back. Or keep it to the first move. Forward and back. The more I think about this, the harder it is to do, and I'm sure you're the same way. All right, let's do it one more time. Going into a forward lunge. Taking our time coming out of that, foot in the air, and to the back position. And let's come out of that. Let's say we're done. All right, let's do a little bit more in the lunge position today to get some strength happening through all of those little muscles around the hips. So find your lunge position. Take lots of time getting down into it. If you want more support, if you want more support, more balance, just go a little bit wider here between the legs. Sideways so you can see me. A nice strong lunge. Your shoulders, your ears are over your shoulders are over your hips, and your hips are over your knee. Take it down a little bit lower. Okay. Let's see what we can do with those arms. Let's bring both arms forward. And then one arm is going to circle back to the front position. And then opposite arm, circle back. So the hands face each other when they're in their resting position. Let's do alternating arms. Getting whatever circle you can out of this. And your hips continue to stay forward. Rotate again through one shoulder here and over here. And let's see if we've got one more in us. Here we go. And back here, and come out of that. And release one leg and the other. Let's just take a little bit longer on this because it's starting to build, I think. Okay, and this time the other leg lunges forward. I forget which one I had. Oh, that feels about right. Okay, and now once we're in this position, let's take it a little bit lower. Let's bring the arms front, bring them out to the side, and crisscross in front, alternating which hand goes on top each time. If you want to take your lunge lower, you can do that. As you try to stay standing or staying lunged. So there's a lot we're working on in this move. Our shoulders are getting a bit of a range of motion. Our hip muscles are certainly working very strongly, and balance is very much in play. And let's do 2 more times. And here, arms down, and let's come out of that. And drop one knee and the other. Okay, let's go wide on the mat. So some of you will be able to go wider than others of us, depending on how much flexibility and openness you've got through your hips. So see what you've got in there to work with within your comfort zone. And your knees want to be going in the same direction as your feet. So if you're opening really wide, probably your feet and knees are going to be out there a little bit. I'm still working on this double hip replacement here, so my range isn't quite as wide as yours. So let's just go from one side to the other. The body stays in the center here. So we're avoiding a bending forward. And just ease into that and easy until it starts to feel a little bit more fluid. And then once you're in an okay position, then bring the arm up too. So you've got a nice straight line from the leg to the arm and back and over to the other side. We're going to slow it down now and hold that move a little bit. Let's go to the other side. You want to support yourself here? You can. Let's hold this one longer. Let's get a really nice stretch happening along that side and maybe through the back. Out of that, over to the other side. Open up the knee. It may want to cave forward because it thinks it's an easier position, and quite frankly it is. But we want to open that up a little bit. So the knee will go back a little bit as you stretch long through the arm. and come out of that. One more time, each side. Here we go. Let's pay attention to that knee and open up a little bit. And come out of that. Last time here. Here we go. And let's come out of that and walk the feet in, or just bring them in slowly. And drop one knee and the other. Okay, we're going to come to the ends of our mat, and we're going to do 3 spinal roll downs. And on the third one, we'll actually come down to our hands and knees on the mat. So your feet are going to be hip width apart. And let's just start by lifting the heels. So coming toward the front of the feet, keeping the weight evenly distributed along the front of the foot. Bring the heels up and down. Let's do that again. Your hands can just be at your side in a comfortable position. And down. This time, let's bring the arms up as the heels come up. And bring both heels and arms down. Okay, now that we know how the move starts, let's bring it all up. And as the arms and heels come down, you're going to tuck that chin. You're going to soften your knees or bend them a little bit and slowly start your roll down from the neck, from the back of the neck, the upper back, very slowly and methodically working your way down through the vertebra. Knees stay soft to really promote a nice bending through the lower back here. Only come as low as you're comfortable. Feel the release where we're not fighting gravity here for a moment. Maybe let the head go a little bit loose and the arms go loose. Take a deep breath in. And as you release the breath, use it to help you build that spine back up very slowly. We don't want to make this a fast move for a couple of reasons, but one in particular, we don't want to pass out. All right, here we go. Let's take it up. Heels are up, arms are up. Hold it a moment. And let's bring it all down. Tuck the chin, soften the knees, roll the spine. And down to the bottom. Deep breath in here. And as you release it, roll back up incrementally. Shoulders are the second last to come into position, and then your chin just comes to a neutral position. Last time, let's bring it up. And heels, arms down, tuck the chin, soften the knees, and roll. This time, when you get to the bottom, you can make your way down to the mat. So we're going to be on hands and knees. Give everybody a moment to get there. Your hands are spread wide on the mat. And you're actually going to try to carry some of the weight through the fingertips. So if you make good, I guess a way to think about it is to make really good contact with the fingertips and the palm, and then that will release some of the pressure you'll feel in the wrist. Okay, let's do our cats and cows. Pressing through the hands and rolling the back up, looking back toward the thighs, but not craning the neck, just a gentle look back, and the hips can press forward a little bit, and release that into a cow. The body kind of falls through the shoulders, but we're still pressing through the hands. And from one to the other. You might want to start this series with just going about 80% of your effort. As your body adjusts to the moves, then you can gradually get a little bit more range. This wants to feel comfortable. And let's do a few more. And 2 more. And last one. And let's bring it to a neutral spine. So in your neutral spine, you're not rolled up and you're not arched here. You're just in that neutral position. So maybe wiggle a bit and see where you end up, and that's likely going to be your neutral position. Okay, this next exercise, the full exercise is the bird dog, in which case you'd slowly be moving one arm up and leg back. It is an intermediate move, so it may very well be beyond what you're up to today. In which case, I'd suggest you do one arm straight out, like alongside your ear, thumb pointing to the ceiling, bring that back, go to the other arm. You're still doing quite a bit of work here because you're supporting yourself on the other arm. And then you just move back to the legs and rotate through that way. If you're up for this, take a moment to secure yourself. Your belly button's pulled towards your spine to help support the core. You're pressing strongly through that supporting arm. And then getting ready to put the leg out long behind you and the arms straight up here with the thumb pointing toward the ceiling. Hold that a moment and bring that back. And let's go to the other side, always taking a moment to adjust yourselves to make sure you're holding and pressing strongly through that supporting arm. And bring that back. Let's go to the first side, taking a moment to adjust. And then really, we're not necessarily looking for a lot of height in that back leg, but we are looking for it to be straight. So we don't want it out to the side. And we'll want to take a moment to make sure, and it may be hard for you to tell, but sometimes we roll up the pelvis on this side. So we want to roll that pelvis to keep it level and then the leg out long. Okay, let's do 2 more times each side, or rotating through that first lesser sequence I showed you. Side to side. And let's do this last one here. Good. Let's come back. Take your back up into that cat shape, and then holding that rounded back, lean back towards your heels. Don't worry if your body's not comfortable in making it back that far. You just quite simply want to be in a rounded position here and really relax that lower back and stretching the arms forward to get a stretch through the shoulders. Take a few breaths here. And then you're going to walk the hands over to the left-hand side, or whatever side you want to start with. You're keeping your body over your legs, so we're not spilling over to the side. So the hips remain here. If you're down on your heels, both cheeks will be touching your heels. And then reaching that right hand forward a little bit to promote stretch on that right hand side. Deep breath in here. And release. Walking hands to center and over to the other side. So you're only going as far over as your body will allow you without having that spillover effect to the side. And it may not be very much, but whatever it is your point of challenge. Reach those fingertips on the left-hand side a little bit forward here. Deep breath in. Release. And come to the center. And let's come out of that. All right. We're going to move into an abdominal or core series. And again, I like to use the term core because it implies a whole lot more than just abdominal muscles. So when we talk about the core, we're talking about the part of the body from about the top of the ribs through to the hips. So it's that whole, what I call tree trunk part of the body, front and back. And a lot of the abdominal exercises, what would seem like an abdominal exercise we do, actually also are using the back so that we get a good counterbalance. Anyway, you're going to come onto your backs, using your head cushion or towel, if you like it, to have under your head for a bit of support. And first, let's just put the ball aside for a moment and start getting the core used to coming into action. All right, here we go. One leg is going to come to tabletop, so that's 90 degrees at the hip, 90 at the knee, and then the second one is going to come up to join it. First one down, second one down. You can do a few of these, and if you find it's a little more than you're ready to handle on your abdominal muscles, then you can do this version. One leg comes up, the same leg comes down. Other leg comes up, that one goes down. But if you're up for this version, bring one up, bring the second one up to meet it, hold it for a beat, and bring the first one down and the second one down. So let's keep repeating that. If you want to have your palms on the floor, or hands on the floor, palms facing the ceiling, you can do that. You can also bring your arms just gently up toward the ceiling with the back of your shoulders still on the floor and do it this way. Keep on repeating, one leg up, the other one comes to join it. The whole time you're pulling your belly button in towards your spine to give you really good support. Well, not only is it engaging the abdominals, but you're giving some support to your back here and making sure it doesn't arch through the process. If you do find you're starting to feel it in your lower back, go to this version. One leg up and down, other leg up and down. Still going to work the muscles to some extent, for sure. Let's do 3 more times. Last time here. And bring that down and bring those knees in to relax. Rolling might feel good at this point. We're just pulling your knees in closer to your chest. So you might notice we're ramping up the exercises a little bit today, and I only do that to kind of whet your appetite. It's just to show you the progression of what some of the exercises can be, and it may interest you in pursuing some more or not. All right, feet are down. We're going to bring one leg up to tabletop and bring the other one up. And we're going to bring both arms up in the air. And if you're comfortable in doing this, one leg is going to go out long. You can stay up high, and the opposite arm is going to go overhead. You're going to bring that back. One leg goes out straight, opposite arm goes out overhead, and bring that back. If you have been doing a lot of core work elsewhere, you can actually have the leg go out long and low as you bring that one overhead. Quite a bit more effort, and you'd want to do it without hurting your lower back. So you decide what works for you. I'm suggesting this is probably lots for you today. Let's do 2 more times each leg. Last time each leg. And let's call that quits and relax. All right, you're going to locate the ball, toilet paper roll, whatever you're using, and you're going to put it at the top of your bum, base of your spine. In other words, on the sacrum. Probably you'll want to move your pillow here, I would think. You decide. You just don't want your neck to be at an uncomfortable angle. So just take a moment to make sure you're secure on that ball, because you will want to be secure on the ball. All right, hands are on the floor, palms are facing the ceiling. Getting ready, maybe engaging the abs before you lift the legs. So just engage them a little bit, pulling the belly button toward the spine, and then bring one knee up to tabletop, and bring the second one up. Keeping your hands on the floor, you can toe tap. One toe comes down to touch the floor, and then the other. Still keeping the leg at 90 degrees. Remember to breathe. Whatever sequence works for you. Like breathe out with the effort, breathe in with the easy. Or sometimes doing the reverse can help you engage your stomach muscles. So if I were to breathe out, as I bring it down, it'll help engage those muscles. Breathe in here. Don't get hung up on the breathing. Just breathe. And toe tap. Down. And one more time each side. And if you're still on the ball, congratulations. This is fairly demanding. And roll your knees in towards your chest. I like doing this relaxation mode with the ball under my lower back because I find I can get a bit more roll and a really nice release through the lower back. So just relax here before we do the next move, which involves this. So we're going to bring the legs up straight, or straight-ish. Don't worry if you still have a little bit of bend in the knees. Think about your legs going toward the ceiling, and they're still about hip width apart. Palms are on the floor, or hands are on the floor, palms facing the ceiling. And let's move one leg out to the side while keeping the other leg in the exact same position. So you're probably not going to go too far, and bring it back. Let's do the other side, alternating, bringing one leg out to the side, bringing it back to center. Going back to the first side. This is really going to challenge your balance on the ball. So if you can only go a little bit without falling off, then that's what you're doing today. And by trying to keep that other leg straight, we're really challenging the muscles even more in the core, because they're working and adjusting the whole time to keep us up on this ball. Let's do one last time here. And bring those knees in to relax. Around a little bit if that feels good for you. So we're carefully going to come off the ball. You can do it in a number of ways. You can carefully roll sideways, or you can put your feet down and bridge up a little bit and remove the ball. Don't get rid of it though. We're going to put it between the shoulder blades. So we're going to lie on the ball, and the ball is going to be between the shoulder blades. So take a moment to get in that position. The ball might run away from you. The toilet paper roll may unravel. Take your time. And then support the head, because this is quite it's a difficult position on the neck. So support the weight of the head in your hands so you're keeping kind of a straight line in through here. All right, you're going to do an ab prep, which we've done on the floor before. This time we're going to do it from the ball. You're going to take a breath in, nod the chin, and as you release the breath, just coming up in a straight line forward a little bit and back to that start position. And repeat, the abs are engaged as you're coming up, supporting the weight of the head in the hands, and thinking about leading with the chest. Leading with the nose could put you in a very awkward position where the neck is getting quite a bit of strain. So it's not a large move, so don't be expecting something amazing here as far as the range of motion. It's a small motion. It's even smaller than when we do it from the floor. But this time, when we come up, I want you to give it a little extra millimeter or two to bring that lower rib closer to the hip bone. Just crunch in a little bit more in that final move and then come back. Let's do that 3 more times. Let's come on up, give it that little extra. You'll feel it pulling right across those lower abs, right under the belly button there, and come back. 2 more. And last one here. And come back. Now let's do a little relaxation. At the beginning of the class, we did a lot of work with our shoulders and upper bodies. So we're going to try to get a little bit of relaxation happening in the tissues between the shoulder blades. So if you want to put your feet wider, you can for lots of support here. And just roll a little bit on that ball or toilet paper roll from one side to the other. So what the ball is doing is kind of massaging the tissues between your shoulder blades, just to give them a much needed relaxation. Let's take another moment to enjoy it. Right. And then you can slowly and carefully come off the ball, maybe roll a little bit to one side, move the ball, and put it away. I don't think we'll be using it again. So come onto your backs. Let's move into some spinal rotation, which we've done before. The feet will go wide on the mat or on the floor, and just dropping the knees slowly from one side to the other. Shoulders are nicely supported on the floor and probably not moving very much, because by moving the legs slowly from one side to the other, we're trying to get at that point where the spine joins up with the pelvic area and give us some gentle, gentle movement to release that part of the body. And keep this going a little bit more. All right, let's bring the legs together, or close to together, legs and feet together, and then drop both knees to one side and just hold it there. So your upper body is staying in the same position on the mat, and you're just moving from kind of from the pelvic area over to the side. Just leave it there, hold it for a moment or two. If you want, your head can go in the opposite direction over the other shoulder. Breathe. Okay, let's bring the legs back to center and over to the other side. And if you're wanting to, your head can go to the opposite shoulder. And hold. Okay, you can bring that back to center. Let's come over to the side. We're going to do a little bit more concentrated hip work here. After all, I think we're calling these classes hipster Pilates, aren't we? So over to the side, support your head, knees are bent, maybe at about a 45-degree angle, and moving right into clamshell. So opening and closing. So as always, the hips are stacked. In other words, one hip is right over the other as opposed to be sliding back here. And you're going to move from this position, which is going to feel like a smaller move than it otherwise would be, but it's a pure move. So all of the action is happening from the hip joint and not being camouflaged by other parts of the body coming into the action. Pulling the belly button in a little bit toward the spine, maybe it's about 30%, 40% effort. If you want to make this a little more challenging for the core, you can pull your ribs away from the floor. So that will work those muscles along the side a little bit more, but you don't have to. Let's do 5 more. It's a slow open, and it's a slow close. And that top shoulder is going to stay nice and open here. Might have a tendency to curl in toward the floor. Just open it up so that you've got some nice posture happening there. Multitasking. Remember to keep that belly button toward the spine as we do our 2 more. Last one. All right, let's relax that. One knee over the other one. Massage if that feels good. All right, let's bring that leg out long. Bring it back a little bit so that you feel a bit more of an opening here through the hip flexors. And then from this position, let's do our small controlled circles. Really making an effort to get the back part of that circle in while keeping the core nice and strong and stable. So if you find your body kind of arching to get that back position, don't go as far back. Keep this nice and strong through the core as you continue to do that very careful, controlled, small circle. Now let's take that circle into the opposite direction. Keeping those abs a little bit engaged the whole time. 2 more circles. Last one here. And bring it down. All right. Let's bring that top knee up, lifting it above the other knee, and bring the knee in toward the nose, and then lengthen the leg and sweep it back, only as far back as you can go without arching. Keeping it still in the air without bringing it down for a rest. Bring it forward again, bending the knee toward the chest and lengthening the leg and bringing it back. A nice opening through the hip flexors as you do this. And repeat. Getting as much bend as you can when you're bringing it forward, coming back. Let's do it one last time. Knee toward the chest. Leg out long. Sweep behind you. And come back to rest. All right, we're done on that side. When you're ready, take your time and move over to the other side. Bring your cushion with you if you want to support your head. I don't know how hard your floors are. All right, so once you're ready here, we're going to start with our clamshells. So remember to keep an open shoulder. Let's remember to engage those abs by bringing the belly button toward the spine and starting to open and close. Breathing through this. All of the moves are slow, so everybody slow it down just a notch. The return is every bit as slow as the opening. You're wanting to pull those ribs away from the floor for a little extra work, feel free to do that. We're going to do 5 more. And we're going to do them slowly. Three more. 2. And last one. And relax that. Okay, let's bring that top leg out long. And as before, we're going to bring it a little bit behind us here. It's going to feel like it's behind us. In actual fact, we're probably just in a straight line. And then when you're ready, start your controlled small circles. Pulling your belly button towards your spine. So the only thing that's really moving here is your leg from the hip joint. The knee's not going to try to get into the circling action. The ankle isn't. Small controlled circle, remembering to get to that back part without arching. And let's take it in the opposite direction. And 3 more circles. Last one coming up. Relax. One knee can come over the other one if that feels good for you. If you need a bit more of a stretch, you can always bring the knee up higher. See if that'll give you more stretch without cramping. Then let's bring the knees together. Lift that top one and bring the knee toward the chest and then lengthen the leg and sweep it back. Slow controlled move, coming back toward the chest, sweeping back. We're going to do this one last time, every bit as slowly as all of the other times. And relax. All right, we're going to slowly make our way to standing and concentrate on some stretching, a bit of relaxation to end the class. So once you're standing, give everything a little bit of a shake. Maybe soften the knees, have them go a little bit wider, and just flop the arms from one side to the other. Really relaxing through the body here. Letting the arms flop like they're empty coat sleeves. Getting some nice release through the whole back, into the hip zone a little bit. Couple more. All right, let's come out of that. We did figure 8 or infinity sign at the beginning of class, having both hands forward. This time we're going to do it one arm at a time, bringing one arm straight up and going into this side and lying down figure 8 or infinity sign, looking to get some really good range. So when you're coming to the forward position, really getting a nice stretch along the back of the arm. When you're in the back position, truly opening through the front of that shoulder. Hips continue to face forward. And just make this nice and easy. Enjoy the flow. And let's finish this one off and bring it down. Let's bring the other arm up and go into that same figure 8. Maybe open up a little bit more through the front of that shoulder this time. Get a little bit more stretch in the back of the shoulder. 2 more. And bring it down. All right, and shake that out. Let's grab a hold of the skin on the sternum. So what you're going to do here, if you've got a shirt on, you may just try to make sure you can do it without, so that you can have the effect of the skin being pulled down. I'll give you a moment to find that. So one hand is pulling down, the other's securing it. Keep pulling down as first you move your hand over toward one shoulder, and then tilt the chin up toward the ceiling and maybe a little bit back. You're looking for a nice stretch here along the side of the face and the tissues in the neck to stretch the fascia. And you can experiment a little bit here, explore and see what you've got. Doing some very small movements, seeing where you can get a stretch that feels good for you. And hold it once you've got it. This can really help relieve neck tension from a lot of the device activity we're doing. And come out of that, come to center, and still pulling down in that area of the sternum, with the head over one shoulder, and then tilt the chin up toward the ceiling. Maybe back a little bit, maybe a little bit more forward. See what feels really good for you today. And once you've got one area stretched, maybe try another area a little bit. And give it a little bit more time. And let's release that. Let the hands go. That poor skin there. And just drop the chin toward the center. Good. Let's bring the hands out wide. Stretch the fingers really wide as you bring the elbows into the side and then drop that chin again. And release, shake it out. Let's take our 3 deep breaths, call it a class. Here we go. Scooping down and filling the lungs. In. And last time. And we're done. Thanks for joining us again today.